guys. Do you know is one of the fastest growing hobbies in America? Disc golf. Yes, you heard that correctly. Disc golf is. The sport has grown more than 15% annually for more than the past decade. I know many of you guys are going to be in college next year and have plenty of free time like myself. You should consider this to be one of your new favorite hobbies. I'll first preview the history of disc golf. Secondly, I'll discuss why people today love this hobby. And lastly, I'll discuss the difference in the different types of discs. It all started back in 1926 in Saskatchewan, Canada. Ronald Gibson and his elementary friends started throwing around a disc. They threw tin plates at fence posts and trees. They called it live golf. They played it on school grounds. That was until modern disc golf in 1960 came out with students at Rice University. They held tournaments with trees as targets and 50-gallon barrels as well. The true pioneer of the hobby was Kevin Donnelly. He formed Street Frisbee Golf. He began organizing tournaments at 9 playgrounds around his local city. He sponsored the first ever Wham-O disc golf tournament, which contained rules such as lengths, pars, and different strokes. That is when disc comes into play. If wherever you throw your disc, you have to place this marker right in front of your disc, and that is your lie. If you don't play your lie, then you get a stroke. It's just like golf, you want the fewest amount of strokes. Fewest amount of strokes, you win. Two of the best-known figures of disc golf are Study Ed Hedrick and Dave Denepace. Dave introduced the first ever modern disc, while Study Ed produced the first ever basket with chains. And they went on to form the PDGA, which is similar to the NFL and football. Info comes from an article by Good, the president of Deep Disc Golf, in 2002. Now that I've explained the history of what you might consider a weird hobby, I'll explain what people around the world are constantly playing it. The hobby is cost efficient. It costs $15 for one of these discs, compared if you're going to go archery hunting and it costs $2,000 for a bow, or if you're going to go fishing, $200 for a rod. And there's no membership or course fees like in a regular golf game. You have $40 for green fees and stuff like that. It's very time efficient and healthy for you. You get tons of exercise walking around and snagging your disc, and it takes 45 minutes per round to finish. It's never backed up, such as golf. It's a great stress reliever. Who doesn't like throwing a little plastic disc at a tree and getting something off your mind? It does not take much skill. You can play it competitively and make a career out of it like I know people do. They go to tournaments every single weekend. Or you can just play for fun and just not be good at all. The age does not matter. You can be 70 years old and I don't think you're going to tear a hip, or you could be 8 years old. It does not matter. Now that I explain why the people around there are constantly playing it, I'll next explain what discs makes different. What discs are different from others. There are different flight patterns, and there are 4 different types of discs. This is the driver. This is a T-bird, which is a fairway. This is a mid-range, and this is a putter. They all have different flight patterns. You're probably wondering what those numbers mean on the front there. The first one is speed, how hard you have to throw it. The second one, the 5, I don't know if you can see that, is glide, how long it's going to stay up in the air. And the third one, the turn, how much it's going to turn to the left, that -1. And 3, the fade, how much it's going to turn to the right. They all have different weights, so you could use them to your advantage. If it's super windy out, you don't want to use a light disc. This is 175 grams. I don't know if you can see that on the back. And this is a light disc. If it's not windy, you could use this. Or if there's wind at your back, you could use it to your advantage. There's different durabilities. I bought these discs at the same time. I don't know if you can tell one's damaged more, but this one's beat up more. And it's just because it's different plastic. And then these are the same discs. It's Destroyer and Destroyer, but it's just different plastic. Star and Champion plastic. It's whatever one you prefer, determining like the weather conditions and what grip you like. There's different ways you can throw it. You can throw it like this, which is forehand, backhand, and if there's a tree in the way, you could always do a thumber. An article from this comes from Jones in 2019, What Did the Number Mean? Hopefully now you guys have a better understanding of the history of the hobby and why people love this sport and the different types of discs. The growth of the hobby will begin to grow more and more with time. There are over 4,000 courses worldwide and played over in 40 countries. It's always something to do in your free time. Now that you know that a disc isn't just a regular disc, you'll be able to differentiate it from the others and the characteristics it contains. And today in my audience, I have my three friends, Oakley, James, and James and Ethan. And then these are my note cards. Thank you very much, guys.